Hello everyone, I'm back with another video, and today I thought maybe I'd like to make an animated GIF or animation video, and I could record the process so you could join me as well. So this is going to be an easy and simple animation, and I'm using the app Procreate. Of course there are many other apps that you could use to make animation or GIF. But today I'm using Procreate. I'm going to draw a steaming hot cup of tea or coffee, and I'm deciding to just illustrate the cup at first, and I want the cup to be still. I don't want it to have any movement or animation. And then I'm going to add the steam, and that is where I want the animation to work. So at first I'm just drawing a simple cute cup, and then we'll work on animation part. So to start, I am just drawing the cup. Of course I'm using the snapping option when I'm moving my sketch, because it helps me to place my illustration or sketch right in the middle of the canvas. And as you can see, when I draw the lines, I hold my pen for just a second on my screen to help me have perfect straight lines. Then I'm going to bring down the opacity of my sketch. I'm going to remove the sketch at the end, but for now I want it to be on lower opacity. I'm going to add a paper texture effect on my canvas, and as you can see, I add a photo to my canvas, which is the paper texture, and I change the size so it fits the canvas. And then I'm going to change the blending mode to linear burn and bring down the opacity. I think linear burn is the best option in blending modes for your paper texture, because it mostly transfers only the texture, and it's perfect for paper texture effect. And then I'm going to start to color my cup. I'm using a watercolor brush as always, and this one is a little bit challenging to draw with, especially when you want to draw straight lines or the edges of the shapes, because as you can see, the brush is a little bit wiggly. It is because the brush has a great pressure sensitivity, so just by the tiny difference in how strongly I press my brush, the size is going to change, so that's why it happens. But no worries here, because as you can see, I'm going to make use of the liquify tool and just move some parts so it looks better and looks more straight and cleaner. Then I duplicate that layer because I want it to be a bit stronger, but I don't want to lose all that watercolor texture, so I don't go over it with my brush. And then I am going to make another layer on top of that. And this is a trick I use here. Of course there are tons of other ways you can use to do this. I'm going to select the white color layer, but then I'm going to draw on a new layer. So I'm drawing on a separate layer, but just on the parts that the white color exists. Erase the unwanted parts and make it look clean and better. So this is something that you can do with clipping mask layer. It's almost the same thing, but sometimes I feel like I want to use different methods just because I feel like I need some variety. And I want to give the feel of having a thickness in our cup by erasing some parts of these dark blue lines, it feels like this is the thickness of our cup. And on a new layer, I'm going to add the other lines that are from the inside of our cup. And again, I'm going to erase the unwanted parts. For the other side too, I erase the top part of that dark blue lines, and now I'm going to merge these two layers together just like so, and then duplicate them so again it's more saturated and strong. Now I'm going to make another layer and draw the drink. Maybe it's coffee, maybe it's tea, I don't know. But I fill out this part, and again I'm using liquify to just simply move these parts. I'm not using eraser because, as you can see, I have used a dark edge watercolor brush and I love that, so I don't want to erase that part. I just want to move it slightly. Then I duplicate this layer too, and we're almost done with our cup illustration. I merge down all of these layers together, and now I want to add some shadow. To do that, I make another layer and make it a multiply. I change the blending to multiply, and I use a grayish color to add some shadows. I don't want to add too much shadows, just some in the inside of the cup and some on the right side, because we're assuming the light is coming from the left side. And maybe a bit more shadow here, and we can smudge them to make them look a bit softer. Now I'm going to add a new layer on top of all of the previous layers, and I'm going to bring down the opacity a little bit and just adding some variety to the parts that we have already drawn. I want some parts to be a little bit darker and stronger. It gives off a more natural watercolor effect. So that's that, and now there is an important thing to do. I am selecting all of these layers and making them a group, and this is because we are going to start the animation process. To do that, I just tap the action menu and then animation assist. Because I don't want the cup illustration to move at all, I'm going to select that frame and turn on background. So this illustration is not going to change, and it's going to be the background of all of our frames. And I'm going to add a frame here, and we're gonna start drawing the stem. In Procreate, each frame is actually a layer, so that's why we grouped all of the layers of the couple illustration together, because a group is treated as a layer. So you either want your frames to be a single layer or a group. And when I add a new frame, it is actually a new layer. There are some changes that I make in the setting. I bring down the frame per second to maybe 5, and I bring down the onion skin frames to 2. And if you don't know, onion skin frames is actually showing you the previous frames, but they have a lower opacity, so you can see the process. But if that is like on 10, it means that you can see previous 10 frames, which sometimes is a little bit confusing. So I bring it even more down to maybe 3 or 2 mostly, because I just want to see the exact previous step. And now I want to make a heart out of the system. So just a little by little I'm trying to shape a heart. I don't know, this is so relaxing to me. I don't know if watching it is also relaxing to you too, but it's just so fun. And if you're thinking why not just copy and pasting and moving the previous frame and making them bigger, my answer is that I don't want it to be exact same shape, especially because it's a steam. So I want it to be wiggly and a little bit act more dramatic. That's why I draw again and again. Actually, this is the most fun part. So no, I'm not going to just copy and paste. So as I draw my hearts a little bit bigger each time, I try to move them upward. And now I want to make a tiny shape in the middle of that heart. So I'm going to draw a heart again and just make that shape bigger and bigger each time. I think it's enough, and now I'm going to make just scattered steams. It's like scattered cloth pieces to make the effect of the steam just kind of exploding. You can see all of the frames down here in the animation panel, and now I press play and ta-da! I know it's just so simple and easy, but doesn't it look fun? I want to make the system look a little bit more fun, and I wanted to have like a little dance or something, not just moving straight. I wanted to act a little bit more dramatic, so I'm changing the sizes and the shape a little bit, and yeah, I think it looks better this way. At the end I want to add another shadow, and I created another layer below everything. I'm just drawing with the same pink color, but the layer is on multiply blending mode, so it looks a bit darker. I tweaked some parts and made some tiny changes in the illustration, and I think I'm happy with how it looks. I think it's okay, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching till the end. If you have any thoughts or suggestions, please let me know in the comments, and I'm going to see you in the next video very